here, closer to rich cabins, where it gets a little drier. There was a rattlesnake up there. Lived in this little rattlesnake society, but he was born with a odd physical feature. But this rattlesnake didn't have like the pointy fangs and the cool stuff going on. This rattlesnake was born with buck teeth, and his name was Sam. And Sam, born with buck teeth, was shunned from rattlesnake society because he had buck teeth. He couldn't kill his fair share of small, useless rodents and things like that, mini bears and evil creatures of that sort. So he was shunned from rattlesnake society, and he decided he would leave his home. And he hung his head low as he made his way down the canyon, all the way down till he got all the way through Poniel to our burro corrals just down the road here a little ways. And amazingly, when he got there, what should he see but one burro, kind of over in the corner, away from the rest. And he wondered what the deal was with this burro, so he decided to go up, inquire as to his name and all that. But before he could find out his name, he noticed that the burro also had buck teeth. And he found out later that the burro's name was Nate, and Nate and Sam became the best of friends because of their physical deficiency or oddity, addition maybe. But they became the best of friends, and they lived here in our lovely little canyon for years to come. Years they spent together out here. But late in his years, Sam became a very philosophical kind of guy, and he told his best friend Nate, he said, Nate, he said, I know we've been friends for a long time, but I feel like I've got to go. I've got to find out the meaning of life. And he knew that there was an old wise man that lived up on top of Baldy Mountain, and he knew all the answers to life's persistent questions. Don't look for him. He's only there at night. You guys can only go up there in the daytime, so the two never shall meet. But he's up there. He lives up there, and he has all the answers to life's questions. So Nate, though sad to see his friend go, decided he had to let him go. He had to let Sam go up the mountain and find out the meaning of life. So off he went, Sam in his little snake mobile, driving up to Baldy Town. And he gets out at Baldy Town. He's looking up the mountain. And as some of you found out, and some of you will find out, he notices it's quite a tall mountain. And but he's like, okay, I got to do it. I came all this far. I got to do it. I got to go up. So he's going up the mountain. He's slithering his way up. And there's rock slides, and they come down and they nearly crush him. But he keeps going. He perseveres. And there's a lightning storm. There's lightning everywhere, and he dodges the lightning bolts, narrowly missing him. And he perseveres up the mountain until he gets to the very top. And because he's such a small creature and he had so many obstacles to overcome, he got to the top of Baldy Mountain. At midnight exactly, he gets to the top. And sure enough, right there's the old wise man sitting with his fire on top of Baldy Mountain, all cross-legged and looking old and philosophical. And he greeted him as if he were an old friend. He greeted Sam. And Sam, without any introduction whatsoever, approached him and said, Wise man, I've traveled far, all the way from Poniel Canyon, just to see you, to ask you a question that's been tearing at my heart. I have to know, what is the meaning of life? And the old wise man said, well, Sam, the meaning of life is to do what you love and to love what you do. And that really weighed on Sam's soul. And he said, wow, it's very deep. So he asked some more questions. And the wise man gave him answers. He had answers to everything he would ask. And he stayed with him for hours until the sun came up. And into the next day. And days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into months. And Sam stayed with the old wise man, learning his ways. Like a Padawan Jedi deal. No, I'm going off track now. But anyway, it got to be late in the autumn. And the winter was rolling in. You could feel the cool chill in the air. But Sam and the old wise man were taking a walk, or a slither, if you will, below the tree line there, below Baldy Mountain. And Sam noticed something odd. He looked at one of the trees and he noticed a bright red lever coming off of one of these trees. And he said, Wise man, what's this lever doing out in the middle of the forest? And the wise man said, oh, Sam, you must never pull that lever. For if you do, it will be the end to all existence as we know it. So Sam, oh, okay, I'm good. I'm not pulling the lever, no ending existence. That's cool with me. So he goes on, and it gets to be winter. Sam knows it's time to go. He's got to get out of Baldy before the snows come. So he bids farewell to the old wise man, goes back down into Baldy Town. He gets in his little snake mobile, and no sooner does he get going along what's already a treacherous road, he's going a little snake mobile, and a blizzard comes up. The freezing rain, the snow, the wind, the hail, the ice, the whole bit. And he's going along, and it's very treacherous. The road is almost impassable. And all of a sudden, he goes into a sharp skid, and he skids to the right or left, whichever direction. The left, and he's skidding. He's going down the road, and he straightens out, and he finally gets himself going straight. And what should he see dead ahead of him, in his headlights, right in front of him, is his best friend Nate. He's coming up the road. He came all the way up from Poniel here, just to see his friend, to see if he was okay. So he's like, oh no! So he turns the wheel to the left, and he sees, right in his headlights, is that bright red lever on that tree that he knows will end all existence as we know it. So he's got to make a split-second decision. He's going, and there's not enough room to get between the two of them. He's got to pick one or the other. It's one or the other. It's his best friend or the world, and he doesn't know what. Finally, at the last second, he whips the wheel to the right, and he kills Nate dead in the road. But fear not, my lovely audience. For there's a moral to this story that everybody knows, and as the wise man would have told it, it's been passed down. Philmont staff is very familiar, and I want you all to know the thing that everybody here is well aware of. I hope you all remember, better Nate than Lever. I would remind you all that you're volunteers here. You didn't pay anything to get in.